So this is what I did to prepare from going from a 2-income household to a 1-income household with 3 children as a single mother.
On this stop to the journey to Jah-Isha.
This week's subscriber shout out goes to, thank you so much for engaging in my video. Like this video and comment below for your chance in next week's subscriber shout out. Y'all waiting for me? My bad. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jah-Isha and this is the journey to Jah-Isha, where I focus on entrepreneurship, motherhood, and self-care through healing and beauty. Today, as you read from the title, will be a little bit more on the entrepreneurship side of the journey. Let's get started. So I want to talk about preparing to quit your job. I knew, well, first of all, when I went into corporate America, I knew that wasn't the place for me to be. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur of some type. It runs in my family. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. My mother was an entrepreneur, is an entrepreneur. My grandfather is an entrepreneur as well. I'm an entrepreneur. And if my children decide to be an entrepreneur, because it's not for everybody, if they do decide, then, you know, I'm here to support them either way they want to go. So it was during the pandemic that I realized I'm ready to quit my job, right? I had just gave birth to Yamina and I was homeschooling Morgan, working a full-time job, and raising a baby while still juggling my photography business and pushing my YouTube career. At that point, I was like, you know, this is a lot. This is way too much for me. And I had a conversation with my husband at the time and I let him know, like, you know, I don't want to keep working. Like, I really want to get into this position to where I can quit my job. And we had that whole conversation and you know, he was on board. He was kind of hesitant, not gonna lie, but he was on board for the most part, I would like to say. Shortly after that, I decided to end the relationship, and it really put a strain on me because I was like, damn, I was really wanting to quit. Now how am I going to quit my job? I'm going from a 2-income household to now a 1-income household, from 1 child to 3 children. How is this going to happen for me? Just talking about it sounds crazy, but I was really feeling discouraged. I'm not going to say defeated, but definitely discouraged in that moment. Even though I was feeling discouraged, right? As a trauma response, I kind of dove deep into my businesses and you know, like I said, I was discouraged, but at the same time I was hungrier than ever, because now it's like it's more fight. It's more to fight for. You have to fight harder, and I was just determined, you know, discouraged but determined. If you know, you know. I like to consider myself a pretty organized person, and knowing that I wanted to quit my job, I had to prepare. So this is what I did to prepare from going from a 2-income household to a 1-income household with 3 children as a single mother. First of all, let's get one thing clear. At this point in my life, my faith was a little shaky, never broken. And I always knew, like, I always believed in God. There's no way around it. Still do to this day. And if you've never seen him work in your life, you may not. It may sound like, oh yeah, Christianity, Bible, the white man, this, that, and the third. But if you've seen God make ways out of no ways, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I prayed. I said, God, please help me. Help me. I don't want to do this. I want to be there for my babies. Like, you know, it was more like a pleading prayer at that point in my life. It may sound different for you, but yeah, pray. First things first, pray for it. After praying, I did a lot of research, and when I did my research, looking back now, these are all tips that I can give you guys. When you do your research, don't look up how to X, Y, or Z. Okay, so for example, I knew I wanted to be a content creating influencer as well as a newborn and maternity photographer. It sounds silly, but now it's all media. It makes perfect sense, right? I did a lot of research. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I listened to a lot of podcasts. And when you're doing your research, especially on YouTube, right? Don't just search up how to be an influencer. You know, search up things not to do as an influencer, or reasons influencers fail within the first X amount of years, or look up the pros and the cons, the do's and the don'ts, the whys and the why nots. Look it up really good. And when you find great videos that includes great information that you know you're not going to remember, of course I would encourage you to write it down. But a lot of the time, especially for me, I was cooking, cleaning, or tending to the children. I didn't have a lot of time to sit down with a pen and a paper and write down the notes from the information I was receiving from these videos or podcasts. So I created a playlist, and you can't see my playlist because it's private, but I created a playlist on YouTube, and I put these good informational videos in that playlist. So if I ever have a question, or if I ever want to remember a tip or some tools or anything, I can always reference back to this playlist. With saving these playlists and podcasts, I began to build my resources. Point number 3, build your resources. These are things that you can use to reference how to work this system, how to work that system, how to apply for a how to apply for an LLC, how to do your taxes, how to pay yourself. That's a huge one. How to get brand deals. Like, all of these different resources I have saved and in my back pocket for a rainy day, or if I feel stuck. Even encouraging videos. Build your resources. And that brings me to point number 4. Point number 4. Y'all gonna really need to implement this point right here. Practice. If you see not real, you know practice don't make perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. But practice does make improvement, and improvement gains results. Things that I practice time blocking, I practice discipline, have you ever heard of faith it till you make it, or fake it till you make it? All of the above. I practice that. And with time blocking, guys, like I said, I had 3 kids, 2 businesses. I was going through a lot mentally, emotionally, and I still had to show up, you know. And a big thing that I did that really helped was time blocking. I set little timers in my phone for like, say I had to do the laundry, I would set the timer something reasonable, like 20 minutes to pack away the laundry. That's nothing. Like, I can power through. And sometimes I did get burnt out, I'm not gonna lie, disclaimer. But time blocking definitely helped. Just set little timers, give yourself realistic time frames, and like super focus on doing that task until it's completed. That playlist that you have, go ahead and practice what you're learning on there. Just to kind of build that discipline, build that mental muscle, and put yourself in a better position to be at an advantage over your competitors. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, like in my business, there's been plenty of times where I had to purchase things and return it right after, just so I can have them for what I needed. Like, I'm not saying flex and fake the funk or act like you have it when you really don't, but sometimes you really have to do what you have to do to get to where you need to be, okay? And there's nothing wrong with doing what you gotta do. Faith it until you make it, guys. Number 5, confidence. Confidence. It's so cliche, but literally after I quit my 9-to-5 and I've become a full-time entrepreneur, I struggled with my confidence because I just had 2 whole babies and I was going through a breakup but I did struggle with my confidence. And what really helped me, which is also a point we're going to get to there, but I went to one of my old friends, my barber guys. You know, remember when I cheated on her and then I came back and then we were all cool again? She actually just cut my hair. But being around her confidence was contagious. And she gave me a lot of tips and pointers on different things about, like, you know, how to be single, how to carry yourself after a breakup and things like that. But the confidence, you know, every time I step out the house in like sweats and in a raggedy old shirt or something, I hear her voice in the back of my head, and she tells me, no matter where you go, always make sure you look good. And guys, that confidence will carry you places. I've had so many people come up to me like, oh my God, you look so good. What do you do? You know, I actually recently went to an event, and just off my looks alone, I was feeling really like, ugh, because I didn't have any business cards. But just off of my looks and the way I was like walking around and smiling and carrying myself, I actually got a free item that someone wanted me to make content for. I had a couple people asking me about my content creating and photography and different things like that. So that confidence can really take you places. And if you feel like confidence means that you have to have money so that you can get your hair done, and that's not true. Like on this channel, you gonna find a lot of beauty on a budget tips, okay? I did my own makeup. I will show you guys, like, whatever y'all need. Comment below, like this video, then comment below, hit subscribe to, comment below, what do you struggle with confidence, and how can I help you? I'm really talented and I'm a pretty good teacher, but let me know. Also, with the confidence, it's not all about beauty. It's a lot about taking care of yourself on the inside, and especially with like self-care and your mental health. That stuff plays a huge role into your confidence. So just hack on it. It's going to take some time to build and grow. I'm still not all the way there, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all might think, oh, she looked like this, so guys, save. I knew I wanted to quit my job. I knew I had 3 children. I knew I was about to be out of my home that, you know, was my home. And I didn't feel like, oh, because I'm going with my mom, that means like I'm financially safe. Like, first of all, I don't like depending on anybody, but I know if I need it, I'm gonna be safe here. But save your money. Like, my plan was to save for 3 months, because if I had 3 months worth of money saved up, right, I had another 3 months to get the next 3 months. So that's how I thought of things. And when you're saving, make sure you plan for the unplanned. You know, expect the unexpected. Save a little extra money, make a little wiggle room. You never know. Morgan, for example, she's my most expensive child, and I'm her only living parent. So when I signed her up for softball for the 2nd season in a row, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this makes so much sense, because I'm gonna get my money worth out of the helmet. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of the cleats. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of everything. Guys, her shoe size went up. I was not, and it's like, duh, but I wasn't thinking that I was gonna have to buy her new cleats. Thank God her head size didn't go up, because them helmets are expensive. And in no particular order, invest and connect. Investing in the business of your craft is so important. For example, photography. People think all you need is some skills in the camera. Not when you got 3 whole kids to feed. You need to invest in the business of photography. And when you do that, it helps you understand, or whatever it is that you're doing, but it helps you to understand how to price yourself, how to value yourself, how to look at your work as more, because I used to look at it as, oh, I take the pictures, I send it to the client, right? But in all actuality, I'm planning, I'm messaging back and forth, I'm shopping for props and wardrobe, then I'm doing an actual photo shoot. After the photo shoot is done, I'm going back, editing the photos. Well, first of all, let's talk about when you do a photo shoot, you get between like 50 to 200 pictures depending on what type of photo shoot it is. So now you got to go back, go through all of these photos and weed out the bad ones from the good ones. Then you have to send it to the client, wait for them to pick which ones they want, give them back to you, then you edit them, then you send it back to them. Like, it's a lot. That's a lot of work to do to have already been paid. You know what I'm saying? So investing in the business of my craft helped me to see that there's some things that I need to do a little bit differently to make sure I'm getting the most out of my time and making sure that money is compensating me for what all I'm really having to go through. Invest in your skill and invest in the business of your craft. It'll take you a long way. And invest now before you quit, so that way when you do quit, you are good to go. Connect. Make connections, because connections will take you a long way. Like I was talking about earlier with my barber. Personally, I've always been the type that like to shop black and brown businesses, because I mean, do I really have to? Come on, guys, like, you know. But I'm sorry, but I feel like when you make certain connections, you learn certain things that you may not have known before. For example, me connecting with my barber, learning how important it is to walk around like you're already arrived to where you're trying to go to. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. I feel like I'm rambling. Let's take this back. Let's take this. Like-minded networking. What does that mean? It means surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And for example, this photographer, he's pretty well known in the Atlanta area. He had I don't want to say a showcase, but it was like it was kind of like him showing off his work. So I guess it is a showcase. But I invested in a ticket to go there because why? I knew there would be people in a room who would be valuable to know my name and face. Why? Because word of mouth. Yeah, he's a photographer, but we both don't shoot newborns. If he shoots weddings, guess what comes after a wedding? Babies. Hello. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Just line yourself up around people who you can benefit and who can benefit you as well. Shooting your shot. Guys, this is the most intimidating thing ever. Okay, you don't want to be rejected. The fear of rejection is real, and even if it's not like really a fear, it's just kind of like, nah, I'm good, nah, I'm gonna get it out the mud, nah, I'm gonna figure it out on my own. Guys, like, shoot your shot. I know when I first started, there was this newborn photographer who I really looked up to and respected their work, the way they were running their business, and that was intimidating, because if you're a newborn photographer and I'm a newborn photographer and I'm asking you to show me the way, like, I'm your competition, like, that's kind of dangerous and risky, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, the worst that can happen is I get a no, you know? So I slid in her DMs like, hey, you know, I would love to shadow you. I can sweep the floors when you're done, like anything, just to kind of get in the room so I can learn more. And she did let me know that, you know, she wasn't ready for that at that time, which is kind of, it was disappointing, but I respect it, you know what I'm saying? Then at the end of the day, I feel like I'm going to figure it out regardless. And it's okay, because now when I do figure it out and I do become an actual like competitor to you, you can't say, oh, I built her, or I made her, or I taught her, or I showed her. Like, no, I figured this one out on my own. It would have been nice. It would have been nice. But, you know, shoot your shot, guys. There's nothing wrong with someone being able to say, yeah, I helped her. Yeah, you did. Thanks. That would be my response. So, if you found this video helpful in any way, go ahead and do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video so that other people like you can have this information readily available to them. Comment below, even if it's, hey girl, you're doing your thing, you look good, your haircut is popping, who's your barber, what's up, anything. Just engage in this video and I will be in the comments engaging back.